Hey, this is Josh from StoreYourBoard, here today to talk to you about the Naked SUP rack for stand-up paddleboards. So what we get is these two arms. You get 4 screws to mount it to the wall, pop through the holes like that, and a instruction sheet. So the Naked SUP rack is part of our Naked series. Basically what it is a compact, sturdy rack that tries to be as minimalistic as possible. You can see it mounted behind me with the paddleboard in it. The racks are holding the big paddleboard just fine, and it's very minimalistic, doing its job, displaying the board and also storing it at the same time. So what you get is these 2 rack arms. They're made from aluminum, and then we put a very nice powder coat on it that's matte. Looks great, doesn't show fingerprints, doesn't scratch very easily. After that, they put a very thick piece of industrial felt on it, nice and thick, but also dense so that it protects your board edge nicely. So when you lay it on the rack, you have no scratching, no issues with long-term storage, anything like that. For the Naked SUP rack, it's actually our biggest Naked rack. We have some for snowboards, surfboards, and whatnot, but the SUP is for the biggest paddleboards, heaviest, longest, anything like that. The key thing that we've done is we've actually put a strengthening rib in them. This is one that is not finished, powder coated or put any felt, but if you can see, there's a rib right in the center there. And what that does is adds a lot of rigidity and a lot of strength to this rack to be able to hold the bigger boards. The other thing that we've done is we've bent it so that it's just up off of parallel with the ground, such that if you do put a really heavy board and it bends just a tad bit, it's still level and still looks nice. So here it is behind me. I'm going to take this down to kind of show you what it is. The other really cool thing is you can just put your paddle right behind. Looks great, no problem. So we'll take that down as well. So when you're going to install it, you get 2 separate ones. The cool thing is you can mount them as wide or as close as you need it based on your board, based on your mounting space. I have these mounted at about 4 foot apart. Our board that we're using today is about a 10-footer. So, you don't want to mount them way on the end, but you don't want to mount them right beside each other either. You also want to think about how high up you mount them. Basically, you want to be able to lift the paddleboard on and lift it off easily. You got to worry about if there's anything below or above you as far as different things that would get in the way. So in general, we have a couple guidelines for the type of paddleboard that we like to mount on these. We say up to 50 pounds. These things are pretty rock solid, potentially over that, but 50 pounds is a good go by. 36 inches wide. Once it gets too wide, the angle about kind of leaning back starts to get not as big, and we're worried about it falling out. And then also boards 6 inches thick and less. Some of the touring boards is placement halls that get really wide. This unfortunately is not the rack, but it fits a lot of boards out there and looks great doing it. So when you do it, you want to try to definitely hit the studs. If you are mounting into a drywall, stud-backed wall, studs are 16 inches on center typically, so go in a divisible number of 16 to try to mount it. If you need to use drywall anchors, get something rated to the weight of your board so that you know that it's going to hold it. We really recommend studs or something else that's firmly in the wall. So basically this is what it looks like. All you do is mark it, and then you drill it and you put your screws right in like that. Once you have it, you kind of want to push down on them. These are rock solid, like I said. Grab the board, put it up in the front, right like that, and just kind of gently lean it back. And there it is, the Naked SUP rack from StoreYourBoard. Check it out.